Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I'm here to do a slightly interesting reading. Well, not really a reading, a recap of what's going on over there if we're the Western, over there in the Eastern Hemisphere. What's going on over there? Because it seems like Japan and Korea have both of their idols going through it. I'm going to be talking about New Jeans or NJZ or MHD. I don't know. They've had so many rebrands at this point. I've lost track, and that's kind of concerning. And I was going to do a reading on them. Maybe I'll do a reading on them next weekend. However, it's been a month, and it seems like they really aren't doing much. So, yeah, I'm just going. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to have to look back at my readings, but I think the last few readings I've done, the outcome didn't look good. But I always had some hope for New Jeans, and I still want to have some hope for them. But the hope is looking a bit peaked, especially the way the media is split. But I will get to that. More importantly, I am here to talk about this heartbreaking, devastating, bizarre story that I feel like there was something behind it. I just can't see it. I just can't see it. I've tried looking at his birth chart, and who am I talking about? Miyazaki Itagaki. Itagaki. Yes, Miyazaki Itagaki. He is a Scorpio, born October 25th, year 2000. And he died just recently. I'm not sure how recently, actually. That's a huge question mark. But he died this year of 2025. However, he did not die at the age of 25, though. He died at the age of 24. And even bizarre, if that could even be a word, on April 17th, his parents officially went to his Instagram and have declared and announced that he has been found and that he's been pronounced dead. Yes, you heard me right. Found. Why is that important? Because just 3 months ago, in January of 2025, his parents reported him missing. I mean, I just don't have words for that. As it's just so bizarre. It's so peculiar. But this is why I'm here to just do a breakdown of how we got here. I'm going to run down his history for you. Where he is, maybe not where he was born in Tokyo, Japan, and also died in Tokyo, Japan. Now, I'm not sure if the off yourself forest or, commit offy forest is like in Japan or in Tokyo, but I know it's in Japan. But why do I always want to know these things right as soon as I start recording? Okay. I'm going to have to bleep myself. Okay. Tokyo is apparently a very big city. Because I can't pronounce it in Japanese, but I'll put it right here. I'll even put a picture up of it. I'm just wondering, was that where he was found and y'all couldn't find him for 3 months? I mean, but his parents found him. I just don't know. More questions than we can ever get answers at this point. And that's why I tried to go back, find his history, try to look at the numerology, try to look at his birth chart, get something, find any kind of information I could find out on him. However, there's some math, but I can't see the full picture. But I'm gonna break it down for you guys, and together we can not debate, but have a conversation about this in the comments. So in 2010, at the age of 10, that's for sure, he was scouted and was brought into the agency company Starburst Production. Now that's very important, so just put a ping in that one. Stardust Production. Now 4 years later, we're now in 2014. At the age of 14, he starts acting. However, he joined the J-pop group and became a J idol under the group Milk. Now, that's just already a questionable name, but I digress. I feel like I've seen that name before around. I probably listened to a song by them and just don't realize that I heard it because they've been around since 2014. I'm sure I've heard a song by them before. However, a year after that, so now we're in 2015, 2014, he started kind of acting, but he was really put into the music industry. But a year later is where he really starts putting in the energy and effort into being an actor. So now he's juggling and balancing the two in the year of 2015 at the age of 15. And so because of that, that's where his core really starts. This is where Miyazaki starts to really learn what he likes and what he doesn't like at 2015. 5 years after being scouted by this group, but only a year after getting into the industry, after taking 4 years just to finally make it into the industry. So then, speaking of all these numbers, 4s, 5s, and 1s, 5 years later, wow, 4 and a 1 equals a 5. Interesting. I digress. 5 years later, from 2015 to 2020 now, 5 years later, in 2020, he graduates from the group Milk. And this is where he's officially made the declaration, I want to focus on acting. I do not want to continue doing music. Acting is my industry, right? However, just a year later in 2021, he leaves his agency, Stardust Production. Why? It's beyond me. It is honestly beyond me. And even in a few videos I've heard, people say that it was strange behavior that he left his company. So, but just in case you do not know, I'm not sure what he has, but the apparent cause of death is just due to mental illness. Whatever that is, is it depression for being a child star? Like, is it the stress, the anxiety, the pressures of being an actor and a singer? Like, having to act out different personalities, get a little bit bipolar. I don't know. There's so many things that people in this industry get from being in the industry that mental health illness is just so broad and leaves it questionable. But you just know his head was not in the right mind space or frame of mind for him to leave his company. So because of that, in that same year of 2021, I found a very interesting picture because I had to start looking. Like I said, I was looking. I don't know this guy. Nothing about him. Zero zilch. And I'm trying to analyze just based off of his Instagram pictures, when did he stop smiling? Because when I look at his recent Instagram posts that he's been posting since he's basically left his agency, so like the last 3-4 years, his Instagram has slowly started having him lose smiles. and he's looking a bit dead inside. I just like something has checked out the building, like he's, and I get it. Sometimes it's just an aesthetic look where you don't want to smile in a picture, but you can't fake being dead on the inside through the eyes. The eyes are the windows to his soul. There was something just not clicking right in him, and he was truly just faking the funk. And it was getting to him. It was eating him up alive, is what I'm feeling at. I don't know what it was, how it happened, and where and when it happened, but along the lines, something has changed. And in 2021, while I was looking through these pictures trying to find something, anything, I was curious about this picture with Gucci. The same year he leaves his agency, where he's not, and people were starting to claim that he was starting to suffer with mental illness, he happens to be posting these interestingly pictures that are very Illuminati-ish, if you ask me. So I don't know. I'm a bit confused here. Yeah, so moving on from that. So that was 2021. And now 3 years later, 2021, so that's 2024. In 2024, okay, hold on. Let me rewind that back. He left his agency in 2024, but in 2021 is when he started getting his breakout roles. Either way, the fact that Gucci was there, whether it was the year he left his company or the year that he started getting breakout roles, I'm basically saying somewhere in 2021, he lost himself and he sold himself to the industry. That's all I'm saying. Because in 2021, he finally leaves Milk and finally decides to go into acting, something that took him 5 years just to get into from when he was a part of this company. And then once he's finally adjusted and accumulated to the acting and the singing, he officially said, you know what, singing isn't my thing. I want to go commit myself to acting. And then he's just having all these big breakout roles, and he was an up and rising coming star. And during that time, you got to start signing some contracts. And that's when he became the brand ambassador. He became the brand ambassador for Gucci in 2018, before he became a big breakout star. But in 2021, when he was officially a breakout star, he symbolized some codes. So then now we're going to fast forward to 3 years later in 2024, where he officially now leaves his company. And people are saying it's bizarre of him to leave his agency. Like, why did he suddenly leave his agency? He was, I don't know what he was diagnosed with. I have no clue what the mental illness he was suffering with that has caused the demise of him to, literally, I just don't know. I literally don't know. But we're in 2024 and he is at the age of 23 at this time when he leaves his company. He is 23 at the time he leaves his company. And then officially, once he's 24, he goes missing. But he goes missing how many months? 10 months before his birthday, before he's officially 25. So in October, remind me, is the 10th month, right? So 10 months before his 20th birthday. I don't know. The math is there. I'm telling you guys, the math and the numerology is there. I just can't see the bigger picture, but it's painted there so clear in my face. I will even post my notes here if you want to look through it and see the years of separation and the years that happened, want to dissect it too, because there's something so peculiar about it that I'm not even sure if I can even pick it up through cards. That's how bizarre this is. That I just bruh, that's all I got. So because of that, yeah, that's honestly all that I got. And rest in peace for him. I'm sorry, I just need to digress because now I have to talk about New Jeans, who is also on a dying career. It's just both stories had hope. Both stories had rising careers. He was rising, he was up and coming, he was getting good brands, and then literally just crashed into and just crashed. And then we have New Jeans, NJZ, or whatever they want to call themselves now. They fans are basically saying they've ruined their career. I've heard they lost 200,000 followers now, especially since they've lost their second case, and their second injunction against the court cases. So now they can't even promote as NJZ. So their whole rebrand was basically for nothing because they can't even do independent activities. So both frustrating situations, both circumstances of their industries, both went down fighting. What, like I've said before, and when I've read on New Jeans and maybe somebody else that went through a similar situation. Oh my gosh, I forget her name, but I'll put her name right up here. Another actor that went through something similar to what New Jeans went through when they was at the airport, and some of their members were having not PTSD, but anxiety and like visibly shaking around their fans. Another actress had went through the same thing. She recovered from it, but she literally almost got taken out too from that anxiety. That's just this tells you how much stress it is when you're a single person out here as a solo artist being yourself. It's way much better to be in a group. And now I think I completely understand why Lisa from Blackpink says that she missed her Blackpink girlies and the stage is now kind of empty without them. She realized how much pressure and how much it is on her to carry a show and to have nobody else to fall back on, and all the pointing fingers, all the hate is going to be directed at you. It's not going to be deflected on somebody else. Now somebody's going to get more heat than you. So it's just when you're a solo artist or just a solo person out here for just being yourself in the industry or trying to be yourself the best you can in the industry, it weighs you down. You have nobody to rely on because everybody in your circle are either kind of just like another thing that I was just listening about. Oh my gosh, just talking about Nickelodeon stars. I know I'm all over the place, but it just seems like they all wanted to come in here together with Drake and Josh. And also Miranda Cosgrove and Miranda Singer. I'm sorry, I can't remember Drake and Josh's real names, but just those actors and how you could be in the same circle, but you have no idea what is going on with your other colleagues around you because you're so busy surrounded by what's going on in your life and having to survive against your own self in this industry. So somebody else is just going to slip through the fingers and you're not going to realize it. But when you're in a group like New Jeans, you have people to rely on. You guys know that it's going to be you till the end if that's what you guys want to be. And if you're going to stand together as 6 members? If New Jeans is going to stand together as New Jeans, all the members had to be on board for this. It can't be we all want this and then one member says no and then leaves the group. We're going to all fall apart because it's going to be exactly what the industry wants us to turn against each other. So, and because they have each other's to rely on, they don't, even though they really want their manager back, Mihinjin back. When you're a solo artist, all you have is your manager to rely on. All you have is whoever oversees you, whoever schedules you, whoever is like you're basically your babysitter. That's really what they really are. They babysit these kids. Not even kids, even when they're adults, even though they have their own dorm rooms, they just don't have a life of their own. And they're constantly under a microscope. So because of this, back to New Jeans. They're still trying to stay strong. I think fans are trying to make it out here look like that New Jeans is crumbling before our faces because some members recently on the live looked very unhappy. Maybe they could have just been unhappy because they're basically under a lot of stress, and they want now that they've literally made another account, another identity. So they're just like, okay, we can't if we can't promote as NJZ, we'll promote as something else. You're not going to shut us up. The resilience of these girls, I love it. But also just thinking about Miyazaki, if you don't have that support, that group that can really get through it with you, you're gonna get fallen, you're gonna get lost, you're gonna get taken advantage of, which is exactly what New Jeans is standing up for. Inappropriate behavior, harassment, just being gaslit, the psychological abuse, the mental abuse, the maybe even physical abuse. I don't know what they've gone through behind that. And now fans are turning against New Jeans as the courts are standing with Adore, saying that New Jeans still has to abide by their contract and they still have to do everything that Adore says, and they can't do anything against their own goodwill. So they can't promote as New Jeans. I'm not even sure if they can promote as this new group, but they probably will until it gets taken to court and get denied again. But it's not like, I mean, listen, I get it. NJZ was a clear ripoff of New Jeans. I get it. You don't want them to promote under anything that's New Jeansy. I get that. I can completely get that and maybe see why the court ruled in that favor. I completely get that. But now they've renamed themselves. At this point, I don't even think they're a new group. I just think that this is just a new Instagram account. But this is just how frustrated I am with New Jeans and just thinking about all this. And it just keeps making me think of Miyazaki Itagaki and just how, and all these celebrities, like, I'll even throw him in here. Kim So-han. I know you guys are just like, what? Are you serious? Yeah, I'm throwing him in here too. Everybody is getting it over there in Asia. We're finally exposing the industry for what it truly is. You guys want to talk about trafficking? That's pretty much what I'm looking at over there. They overwork them. We see their idols pass out on stage, get sick on stage, still have to perform with braces on, take a hiatus, but then as soon as they're backing up and ready, they have to get back on stage. You tell me what trafficking is. That's exactly what it is. Finally, I get a time to mention this. If you guys know anything about TikTok, you know about those weird dancing videos that they do. Now, I get it. They love to dance over there in Asia. They're the dancing country. I get it. Y'all love to dance. But just like I'm talking about the way these idols are harvested and then discarded like they're nothing, just to get money and capitalize off of them. And we know that the females are sexualized. Yeah, let's talk about it. We know these females are sexualized in the industry. Male idols too, but we're a little bit biased because we're the females getting to put them in gay relationships and enjoy fantasizing about them having intercourse with their bandmates, okay? So, yes, we sexualize them too, but it's not overt like it is for the females, where they're dressing in clothing that invisibly makes them look uncomfortable. And we see each other idols looking out for each other. I don't know why I'm coming for the industry today, but that just seems to be where I'm going with the flow today. Sorry, NJZ, but that just shows you how there's just a huge double standard when it comes to the industry. And we just don't want to look at how these groups are being mistreated like new jeans. We was all rah, 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 justice for new jeans, let new jeans be free. But the second the court said that new jeans is in the wrong and Adore is in the right, everybody's just like, oh, F new jeans this, new jeans that, new jeans ruined their career, new jeans is nothing, oh, they're just money grabbers, attention seekers, trying to use the industry, taking down other people, everything underneath the name and son of the book you guys want to say about new jeans now that the courts have said that new jeans has to abide to Adore because they're in violation of Adore. Yet they were the ones that were the victims here. So the double standards, right? The double standards here. So I think I've vented and ranted enough about the industry, but it's just very questionable. And honestly, tell me, can you guys see it? Can you guys see that the K-pop industry, scrap that, the Asian industry, let's just be honest. Can we all mention and be honest here for a second? Please put your comments down below that the way that they run their music industry over there in Asia is a bit trafficky. Now, I know you can say that it is over here like that in America too, but we don't have it by the groves. They have like 12 members per group, and they don't even last a good 2-5 years. I get it. They have a whole ton of people in Asia. I get it. I completely get it. But also at the same time, we're using humans as commodities at this point. They're just money ka-ching ka-ching bags. And when you no longer serve your purpose, or you're broken with mental health or physical ailments, they discard you and act like you're nothing, or you get put down in the basement, and other groups are promoted and prioritized over you. So, whew. Okay, I think I've spurted out, like, if you know me on this channel and how I usually I have this fire for YG, but YG is just one cog, one piece of the machine, because YG is the embodiment, in my opinion, of the industry. The fume you saw me spit for the industry is exactly how I feel about YG and how they promote and manage their artists. But I digress. I know there's other labels out there too, like SM, that I choose just to ignore unintentionally, but I just tend to forget it because I am such an SM stan. But Hybe, when, I mean, I will say I was on the train for a bit with New Jeans. Like when it came to boycotting like Adore company or hype companies, I was down. I stopped listening to Illit. I stopped listening to Ellis Frim because even though I love the song Crazy, I was just like, no, I'm not going to support you guys in the time of when I feel like this group is being taken advantage of. And that's exactly what people are upset about, that people started giving hate unnecessarily to these groups just because, but y'all completely forgot that it was already written in documents that just happened to get leaked. So it wasn't. Anyway, I digress. I'm so done with New Jeans and the situation that they're in, but I'm not done like that, but just done in frustration, because it just seems like the industry, not the industry, the fans have completely taken a 360 on New Jeans, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. What suddenly has changed? They are still the ones that are unjust here. Just because the court says that they are the ones that are wrong, that the courts are wrong all the time. So we're just going to suddenly believe the courts now? Okay. If you enjoyed that reading, I'm so sorry. That's just my passion that's going on with New Jeans. I just had to get that out there. That's why I'm not even sure if I can get a reading out of this situation, because what is there to read on at this point? They're still stuck in the same energy. In fact, worse at this point. So I'm like, I don't want to read on a flaming dumpster fire that apparently seems to be happening on the internet. So because of that, I'll just talk about it and express my frustration instead. But I really got keyed off with Miyazaki because it's just really bizarre that, and especially in Tokyo, Japan, we all watched Kanye in Japan or in early 2025. So while we was just all busy by Kanye and just completely forgot Miyazaki, and he was able to just slip on by. Like, how did that happen? For 3 whole months, he wasn't found, and he was reported missing, a famous actor, and nobody found him. Okay. So with that being said, he always renders me speechless because it's just, I'm dumbfounded and flabbergasted at the demise, especially at such a young age. He didn't even get to 27. His Saturn took him out before he even got to his Saturn return. I'm just like, God damn. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed my recap. I was a bit lengthy today. I was just really full of passion. Sorry if I got a little bit sarcastic there, but yeah, with that being said, I think that's all I got to say. Hand motions, gestures, and all. I hope you enjoyed this reading recap. I felt like a reading. It was just me reading myself, I guess. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this. I sure did. Like I said many of times, leave your comments down below. How do you feel about the 2 people that I talked today about? And with that being said, please subscribe if you have not subscribed already. We really mean a lot to this channel. Me and Lady Crone would really appreciate it. Please and thank you. With that being said, I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Sunflowers!